What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Resident Evil Collection update. And I know it's been a long time. I have been planning on making a really big collection update with a lot of stuff because I was getting a lot of stuff in over the course of a couple months. As far as content, I know it's been a little bit with the consistency of streaming and podcast posting and stuff like that. I have been at the tail end of finishing up a short film. It's been taking up a lot of the time because it has been crunch time to try to edit everything, put it out. The process of making any film is always a nightmare, trying to get everything ready. But as I'm finishing stuff up, I was like, you know what, you guys definitely deserve a new video. I want to thank a couple people that made some of these items possible. First shout out is Eli. He has been a long-time fan of the channel. I don't really know what else to say. He's been watching us, me and Perry, for a while. And I was finally able to meet him when I went up to visit Perry. We visit each other, or I go up to visit, a couple times a year. And Eli is, a wrestler, so he goes out to Japan to wrestle. And he went to a Japanese store, and with that, he actually was able to find a couple of things that, I mean, the deal was real with this one. This is something I'm going to show these in a, piece by piece. And all of them were together. But the first thing I got, the last video you saw, but I took it down, was my other Resident Evil 2 video that I had, where I unboxed the Biohazard 2. Well, because I realized after the fact, thanks to you guys commenting, is I didn't necessarily get it complete. So the one that I had, that I showed, is actually right behind me. This one is not complete like it should be. I didn't know that it came with memory card stickers. So, because I'm a jackass, I bought one that has memory card stickers. I haven't really unwrapped the bubble wrap yet. It is from Japan. I did spend a little bit more to get this complete. To be fair, the other one was a bid that I won for like $6, so it wasn't like that big of a loss. But this is another Resident Evil 2. This time it has the memory card thing. So hopefully we can open this up and we'll see the complete side of what we should have gotten the first time around. Now, of course, when I bought the other one, I didn't even know it was a thing, so would I have bought it if I knew? Probably not, but at the same time, it's still pretty cool to have a couple different copies. I'm not, against that. So you open it up here. This is just some kind of Japanese, mailing thing. And then here we are. So this is obviously the same thing we saw last time. This is the inside. Now, what you see is these are the memory card stickers. So, untouched and unscathed, they're pretty cool because not only did you get Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 1, but you got Resident Evil 2. And they give you a couple untouched. That's what's cool about stuff like this, is that's why you gotta like some of the Japanese stuff, because they have, of course, stuff that we don't get. And something like this, just something as simple as a memory card sticker, actually makes it pretty cool. Just to have. And then, of course, this is the little receipt, which my other one did not have as well. So I have both of them, and then, of course, the manual is hiding back here. One thing that I like about the menu is how colorful it is. It has some different text, some different information in there. It's pretty cool how they, give us black and white, and then they just have these nice, colorful manuals that they, give a crap about. But I always kind of like the different artwork and stuff that they end up using, because even on the back here, it's very different than what you would see on the US copy. But that was what I got from the first item that I purchased through eBay. It came exactly from, right from Japan. It took a little bit longer to get here, but I've had this for probably a month and a half now, and I haven't even opened it because I was waiting to get the rest of the shit. So let's move on to the next thing. Eli was in Japan. He's found all of this stuff I got for $30. So everything you see, $30. So again, shout out to Eli, and also shout out to Perry, because Perry also, because these are obviously Japanese, some of them being Japanese PS2 games, Perry was able to update my PS3 that he also hacked back in the day to play the import, so I can actually pop it in, play it, no problem, and it's fucking cool. This is Biohazard. This is the first one. Of course, it's not sealed, it's just, resealed, but of course it has the paid sticker on the back, which again is really cool. The Japanese price tag on there as well. Of course, with stuff like this, there wasn't a long box with something like this, so it was just the thin case. So we're going to open up the seal, and we're going to take a look inside, look at the disc, show some of the manual, and then like I said, from there, that's going to dictate. And then of course, like I said, he wasn't going to give me a bad deal on all this stuff here. The case is in good condition here. Look at that. The lab, again, new artwork. Different artwork. I haven't seen this yet, so this is new to me. And then the disc, which is just red. I kind of like that, actually. It's just a red disc. And then this is the back again. And, wow, the serial number on that's SLPS00222. So as far as the manual goes, we'll kind of skim through it here. This is the biohazard contents with weird spooky font that they have on there. I don't think I've ever seen this. I don't even think I've ever seen this in concept art. This is like Dead or Alive, like gameplay stuff, like, oh, if you use the herb, you do this. Really crappy pixelated models of the character, but the cool drawings of that character, kind of like the anime style that they inspired. This is an anime Jill as well, with her pixelated design, but it's kind of, you can see the influence in that, just kind of like that Japanese art style that they carried in like Street Fighter and everything. It's very reminiscent of that, from the 90s, very just 90s, just very 90s. As you see, everybody in the background kind of has a rundown of Alpha Team and Bravo Team, who's a part of it. Bios, of course, I can't read the Japanese text, but I'm assuming it's just telling you the bios, and then this is just like controller, use the knife, interacting. This is another cool shot of Jill with like her longer hair and her beret. Cool little stuff like that. Kind of a rundown of like, what to do with the specific actions of a zombie lunging towards you, how to dodge specific enemies. Here's another one of Chris, right like that. And then theme songs. They have credits for a theme song, which again, another thing in the American edition it does not have. But that is Biohazard for the PlayStation. So not only do I have this on Sega Saturn now, thanks to Perry, but now thanks to Eli, I have it on PlayStation. So thank you guys. I have Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 on PlayStation in Japanese, and I don't have the PAL versions yet, but I'm going to be working on that soon, but we're going to do one region at a time. Give me a break. The next thing is we're leading into the Director's Cut now, and this is Biohazard Director's Cut. This is, of course, the non-DualShock Director's Cut, so before they changed the music and that other shitty version, this is just the regular Director's Cut. And this one has a weird white case. I always kind of thought this was an odd case, but they promised you uncut cutscenes and the severed head. And in this edition, I believe this does have some of the uncensored stuff that the Americans did not get. The only thing I see here is that a hinge is a little broken, but that's fine because I'm going to be able to I'll get another shell for it. But of course, this is the manual, which we'll kind of skim through pretty quickly because it's probably very similar to Resident Evil 1 that we just looked at. But this still comes with the infamous, the notorious, and I'll just hold them separately because they're going to fall apart on me. This is Biohazard Disc 1 and Biohazard 2, the demo. So, of course, the demo, and that's a weird logo of the eye. I don't think I've ever seen that either. This is, that's what people, the delay for Resident Evil 2 is why this came out. Well, the reason why they scrapped it and redid it, and this is why this version came out. And this is the better DualShock version. And then we'll get into the manual real quick. It looks very similar. It looks like they have like a typewriter there. So they use some different colors zoomed in. They honestly just rehashed the fucking thing. They switched it up a bit. They put them in like the foreground a bit. They're not like transparent, and they have like the different stuff. They explain the control. It's literally a rehash. So, but that's Biohazard Director's Cut. Just gotta again replace. I gotta just find a Japanese replacement case, which I can find. I'm in the process of doing that, getting those like replacement cases for a lot of PlayStation games. And if I'm doing more imports and I need some cases, then that's probably what I'll start doing. Is just kind of getting the old scratched up cases, and you can replace them, and it doesn't decrease the value at all for collecting. Next thing up is Biohazard Code Veronica for Dreamcast, and this is my first Japanese Dreamcast game. And first of all, I think this cover is like weird because you see the map and it like kind of shows you like where the island is and stuff like that. The back as well, and of course it has the nice. This design is probably my favorite. I like it better than the blue. This is the eagle emblem, and whoop, the manual just fell up. And so 2 discs. The other disc is a blue disc, but it has the other logo of the angel, which actually looks fucking awesome because it's like sparkly gold. These discs look fucking dope. The case is a little hard to close, but yeah, we have this again, and then we have the manual. Then it has a nice shot of Claire's jacket, her infamous jacket, some different artwork there again, character bio, Claire, disc 1, disc 2, how they swap. They talk about the VMU feature with the health as well. That's the main thing that you're going to get with Resident Evil, is that they're always going to explain the new... Oh, these are... Oh, okay, so it looks like it's explaining, again, different ways of pushing the zombie off, tapping buttons, getting it off, stuff like that, pushing, examining stuff. They give you, like, so much information. They even talk about the material box. Like, that's fucking crazy, and that was, like, only for, like, a part of the game, and they put that in the manual. It's like, nowadays, everything's just, like, a digital manual, but that's cool. And this is actually in English. It says, Claire Redfield, who arrived in Raccoon City to search for her lost brother Chris, and a rookie police officer, Leon S. Kennedy, managed to escape from the city, but the ordeal was only a prelude to things to come. And that's what it says on the back. I'm not sure if it definitely doesn't say that in the American case. But, so, yeah, we're going to move this stuff over here. And, again, all the Japanese stuff that you see besides the Resident Evil 2, I got for 30 bones. That was it. So... We already have this. This next thing, I'm going to save the best for last, though. This is, well, not this one, but the next one. This is Biohazard Outbreak, File 2. And this was one of the online Resident Evil games that people want them to bring back nowadays because they're like, oh, the online servers would be so much better. And it would be. And a lot of people want to see, a remake of this or another Outbreak or just another online Resident Evil game that takes place in Raccoon City, and there it is in the Japanese artwork, and the disc actually looks really cool. I just love the different discs artwork. It always seemed like they add some cool stuff, and again, we'll kind of skim through. Of course, I already see advertisements for the live action movies, which is what they did. See, what's weird is that this font that you see here, this is different than what we got. See, obviously, for some reason, when they went and did this for the American release, they used the movie font for the game font. And it always looked weird, because I'm like, it has nothing to do with it, but at the time, the movies were big, so maybe they're like, well, we'll put the new I don't know, I associate this with the movie. And I don't like it personally. I actually really enjoy this, because it was, first of all, it was called Biohazard, so it was already different than the movies. So, in Japan, they're still called Biohazard, but they're still marketed as Resident Evil. It's just a whole fucking clusterfuck. But we'll get into the manual as well. And the manual, again, it's a lot of pages, so I'm not going to sit here all day, but it's just giving you different prompts. It's talking about the single player, some of the hard drive installs. We got some advertisements here for, now this is fucking, oh yes, Biohazard, the stories. And it's, holy crap. And well, number one, this is probably just hanging up just because it's Resident Evil 3. That's fucking cool. And it has some advertisements about that. What the hell? Biohazard, the stories. I'm going to have to look into this. See, this is some weird stuff that I don't know about. And look at this. A Japanese advertisement for Resident Evil Apocalypse, which is pretty nice. And then here's some more Japanese paperwork that was shoved in the manual. So this thing is it's complete as can be, and that is Biohazard File 2. So again, just big thanks to Eli for fucking finding these. That's just it's awesome because again, these would cost me a lot more if I'm getting them on eBay individually, or maybe in a lot. But like Japanese lots, you're going to be paying more money. Last but definitely not least, you guys knew this was coming. The game that was only released in Japan, a game that I've never played before, a Resident Evil game that I've never played, and it's Gun Survivor 2, Biohazard. Yes, the one that has fucking Nemesis in it, that is pretty much a Code Veronica first-person shooter that I've never played on, and you bet your ass we are doing a video on it exclusively here at Let's Talk Resident Evil. And this thing is, like, when I saw this in the picture, I was like, dude, just get it. Just get it, because I've been trying to get this for fucking years. And I've never really watched full footage of it online, and I've been trying to actually play it, and god damn it, look at that fucking awesome disc, and you have the manual as well. And this game, it's so fucking bizarre. And the way it was released, and here's an advertisement for the Gold Luger on the back of there. But at the same time, this was a hard game to find, and it's probably more common to find over there in another advertisement for the Luger. But this game, it's so bizarre and it's weird. It came out in 2001, and again, it has Nemesis in it, as well as, you know, Alexia Ashford, the Liquor, the Bandersnatches, stuff like that. And of course, it uses the light gun. Now, the light gun, keep in mind, the reason why this might have been banned and never released, my theory, is because Resident Evil Survivor was, you know, in America, you couldn't use the light gun because Columbine happened and they pulled it. So it was only in Japan that you can use the light gun. They probably said, you know what, fuck it, we're not even going to try to release this in America, and we really want to utilize... Now, you can play it without the light gun just like Survivor, but if you played Survivor in Japan, you can actually play it with a light gun. So this is more light gun based, and maybe they didn't want to get involved with the whole violence thing that was going on at the time. I don't know, but this was in 2001, so this was kind of during the GameCube revival, and Remake came out, and Zero came out, so this is right before that. But again, can't wait to do a video on it. Amazing fucking finds. Eli, thanks again, man. Seriously, big shout out to you for helping this be possible. I'm building my Japanese collection, which is good because I've been chipping away at it for a long time, and that's really all I have for the Resident Evil collection updates. So we actually have some more things on top of what you've just seen that has came in. Shout out to Joe Natale for hooking me up with some of the NECA Resident Evil figures. He's a fellow Resident Evil collector and fellow friend. He was also getting rid of some of the stuff in a move and asked me if I wanted some of the stuff. So I said yes, and this is what we got. Over here we obviously have Jill, the 10th anniversary NECA, and we have the Crimson Zombie, or not the Crimson Zombie, but the regular zombie and the Cerberus 10th anniversary edition. So you can see some of the detail in some of the NECA figures. And of course, NECA has been around for a while, and they make detailed figures. This is Jill here with her pistol. She's a little sun-baked there on the blue, but other than that, she's still in some good condition. I have a lot of the stands and the guns and the grenades and stuff in a bag on the side where I can put them and apply them like I want. This is the more Resident Evil 4 figures here. Obviously, when it comes to the other NECA here, like right here, this is the holster where you can also put some weapons. A lot of the NECA figures have that, where you can kind of take out weapons and stuff like that. So these are already out of the box. This one right here is the Monk Bald with the Parasite. So you can actually swap out his head with the Parasite. And then here we have the Series 2 Krauser NECA Resident Evil 4. Obviously, he has his grenades and really cool design here on his back. He has his knife because, you know, you have to have his knife. Yeah, fucking badass. Krauser's awesome. And they actually look correct. They look to scale of the actual characters. This right here is actually stickers from a calendar, which is pretty cool. because they have some old school artwork, some new school artwork, some stuff from the Umbrella Chronicles and Darkside Chronicles and PS1 era, GameCube era, stuff over there for party reminders and stuff like that. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Something else he had. This right here is Leon S. Kennedy. And of course, this guy is going to be the first NECA series in his RPD. His arm's a little messed up. If you do move it, his arm will fall off, though. So he does have his pedestal equipped with his knife and handgun in the holster. But his arm is a little janky and will fall. So, still in good condition, though. It's just the arm is like that. So he did warn me of that ahead of time. And, of course, I was fine with it. It's fine. These are fucking awesome still. This guy is the Resident Evil 4 Chainsaw Ganado action figure with the yellow chainsaw or whatever, orange chainsaw, yellow-orange chainsaw, brown. It looks more brown on here. But back here, we actually have the Resident Evil 4 Garrador. Looks fucking sick. He has the blades there on the end, which can come off. You have to attach them on his little wrist mechanism there. But, yeah, fucking awesome. Again, they're pretty big blades, and the detail is crazy. Even the parasite right there is a nice little touch. This is the NECA 2006 Series 4 Monk with the skull face crossbow. So, of course, these guys are a pain in the ass in the game, but here yeah, it's got detail on the helmet there, and some of the detail on the crossbow, which is pretty cool. Again, looks to scale. All the logos on his outfit there. Again, really awesome stuff. Really cool stuff from the NECA. And I remember vividly seeing all these in, GameStop and stuff like that. And back when they were around and they weren't as expensive. This is the Hunk series right here. Again, from the Resident Evil 4. This is still pretty fucking cool. He has the sample. He has his TMP. And he has some more weapons that you could do. This is another 10th anniversary edition, along with the Jill and the Crimson and Cerberus. So he has a little radio back there, holster for another handgun, and of course he has the sample, and we'll put him right there behind the chainsaw guy, ready to get decapitated. And yeah, Hunk's fucking badass. So this is looking like a nice little set of Resident Evil 4 figures here. And this guy back here, this is of course the Iron Maiden. This is the NECA. I think this is Series 1 of the Resident Evil 4. And this guy actually is fucking sharp. When you pick him up, you can stab yourself, so be careful. Yeah, he's a pain in the ass, but look at that detail. Again, NECA, they do great jobs with their figures, and these do go for some value. So adding these to the collection is awesome. And the level of detail, I just can't get over that. Look at that. All the pins and on the hands and the feet. It's pretty crazy. And back here, we have our Lonely Guy Vertigo over here. Again, the NECA Vertigo. This is a really expensive one, but his legs, unfortunately, do not work. They are falling off, so if you do move him the slightest, it will come off. So I could set him up like this, and it will be okay, but as soon as you move him, he's going to fall. So that's just the way he is like that. So maybe there's a way to actually fix it or prop it, but this is still a really cool figure. This is the Series 1 NECA of the Vertigo. And yeah, really fucking awesome detail in his tail and everything like that. Again, it's just over years of time, it happens to people that take some of these figures out of the box. Sometimes things just kind of come off or fall, and it happens. Thanks again, Joe, for all the figures. Wow, they're incredible, and now I actually can add on to these figures going forward, because now I actually have some to choose from and a catalog to go off of, so thank you for that. And that is it for the Resident Evil Collection update. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like this video, and check out the Let's Talk Resident Evil podcast on iTunes, Libsyn, and YouTube. And you can also follow me on Twitter at letstalk_RE.